My God, man.
How was Redeye last night?
Fun.
Jim and Anthony on Redeye.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Jimmy is quite the guest host. Holy shit.
Is that good or bad?
It was good.
It was good.
Why, holy shit.
Really good. Because it was fucking hysterical is what it was. Really, he did a... I'll slather his ass.
Thank you.
With saliva. Yeah, he did a really good job.
Thanks,
really
man.
good.
Were you nervous?
I really, momentarily, but before we went down and started the episode, Meatloaf was the guest, and we had to tape our segment with him first. Mm-hmm. And he's a little nutty, but having had him on this show, it was like I kind of knew what...
A little?
Yeah.
A little
He's
nutty.
out of his mind.
But I went down and read the teleprompter. But the teleprompter is the hardest part because it's so weird to read and talk at the same time. It's
right.
Weird. And I went into the control room in the bottom, and the woman who works there helped me run through like the monologue a couple times, and it's like, all right. But that actually helped. But it was Ann Coulter, Juliet Huddy, and Bill. I mean, it was great
nice.
fucking energy. It was really fun, man.
I think we got some clips.
Oh.
We should run through some clips.
Clips.
From Redeye last night on Fox. Norton starting the show right here.
Bad news, folks. Greg is dead. Welcome to Norton and Friends. I'm Jim Norton, your guest host for tonight and hopefully forever. I'm kidding, of course. Greg is only unavailable because he's currently eating cookies in a house while attempting to explain himself to Chris Hansen. I'm going to try to do tonight's show in typical Greg Gutfeld fashion. If by Greg you mean really, and by Gutfeld you mean terrible. Dana Vachon is filling in for TV's Andy Levy, who's recuperating from a hysterectomy. Dana, what's coming up on tonight's program?
I said hysterectomy.
Hysterectomy. Who's recuperating from a hysterectomy?
Yeah. You're getting a little ahead of yourself there for a second.
I know. I knew I was going to stumble on hysterectomy. I actually got it out better than I figured I would.
But it's it just was like good.
Yeah, the laughs were right there.
Good, yeah. And the teleprompter thing you were talking about is like it's got to be this, because you got to look at what's coming up. You can't just read it as it's like happening, because you got to see what's coming up on the teleprompter. So yeah, you did a good job on that.
It's weird to look like, because you're looking at the teleprompter while you're talking to people. It was weird reading the questions. So, Ann, do you think, and Ann's to my left, I'm like reading.
Yeah, my name is up there. He's reading things for my name. It's like, what? It's just Jimmy.
I hate my voice.
Do you?
I would literally, I'd rather listen to somebody liquefy shit under a tire than my own voice.
No one likes their voice,
Oh,
really.
God.
No one likes hearing their voice back.
Oh, it was terrible.
Name one person that does. I don't think anyone does.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are just like, I don't want to hear that. No.
Turn that off.
Stop it.
Norton welcomes his guests on Redeye last night.
Let's welcome our guests. Well, she's smart, she's beautiful, and she drinks like William Holden.
That's nice. Thank you.
It's Fox News anchor.
Hey!
Fox News anchor Juliet Huddy. And I met my next guest when he winked at me through a hole in the wall of an adult bookstore. It's Anthony Cumia of Opie and Anthony, and we work together 5 days a week on Sirius XM satellite radio. He's a comic genius with politics so radical he makes Paul Pot look like a bleeding heart liberal. And Bill Schultz, the true star of this program. From now on, you will no longer be referred to as repulsive sidekick or kidnapper of young houseboys. From this day forward, you are to be referred to as that sweet and gentle boy. And sitting right next to me, she's written 7 New York Times best-selling books. She's a nationally syndicated columnist and commentator. The more liberals hate her, the more I love her. It's Ann Coulter.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Wow. And you love to hate him, and you hate to love him. Or if you're me, you just ignore him and hope he dies in a fire. It's our New York Times correspondent. Ugh, pinch.
Yeah, I dare say. Log on to the New York Times website to read Nancy Bauer's think piece, which asks the question, are Lady Gaga and her admirers confusing sexual power?
Did Steve cut these up?
No, I think Sam did.
Sam.
Is there an edit in there?
Well,
yeah, like
kind of out of context.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
really?
pinches this stupid... Bill Schultz, to break the fourth wall, has a string and he's mocking the New York Times. It's just the New York Times mouth.
Right.
With
That's what
eyes
Pinch
on
is.
it.
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's-
talking newspaper.
Yeah, it's
the
like
New
a
York
child's
Times.
toy.
Oh, I had no idea.
That's what Pinch is. They make it from the New York
So I
Times.
needed a little setup there.
Yeah, it
huh?
doesn't really... Yeah.
Well, I dare say. Log on to the New York Times website to read Nancy Bauer's think piece, which asks the question, are Lady Gaga and her admirers confusing sexual power with self-objectification? In other news, who's Lady Gaga? Also, what's a website? Jim?
Yeah,
Thanks, Pinch.
that doesn't quite.
No. And then he cuts it there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to spit on Sam.
Oh, boy.
Spit on him.
Well, there's the talking New York Times.
Yeah, well.
But it could have just been cut before then.
All right, well, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Well, Norton starts the segment last night on BP as he hosts Redeye last night.
Has a yacht race left the CEO of BP crying SOS? FYI, the answer has to be LMAO. P.S. F you. Well, British Petroleum has asked Tony Hayward to step aside. The announcement comes weeks after Hayward, henceforth to be referred to... What?
Oh, they left the screw up in.
I think that's just noise of Tony.
I
doing
thought Tony
something.
was talking. I didn't want to interrupt Tony.
You have a lovely, lovely accent.
I didn't want to interrupt the elitists. All right, let me do that again. Let's not botch this, Jim. Big deal coming. The announcement comes weeks after Hayward, henceforth to be referred to as that bum, complained of wanting his life back following the initial leak, and hot off a weekend spent attending a glitzy yacht race in England, which, by the way, that's the public relations equivalent of hiring Joran van der Sloot as the Minister of Tourism in Aruba.
Van der Sloot.
No, I had
Any
to-
Van der Sloot
Always,
line.
always, always appropriate. I just can't listen.
Oh,
You can't
Jimmy.
listen at all?
I can't listen. No.
Just a couple
Jimmy
quick,
doesn't like his
quick clips
voice.
from last night. Norton talks to Ann about the head of BP.
Anthony, stick up to the Tonys of the world. Is there any defending this rich, privileged jackass?
Yeah, I don't see the shock and outrage that everybody is spilling out over this guy. No pun intended. But during the Bush administration, all you heard was how horrible these oil execs were. And what do they expect? Him crying, hosing off a pelican? The guy, he's an oil executive. He's an ass. People don't like them, and he's proving why.
He did give most of his money to Obama.
Oh, yeah, he did that, too. So.
Don't be too soft on him.
But actually, instead of ask, the British prefer bum. If we're going to
Yes.
use the vernacular.
True,
Yeah.
true.
Just want to make sure we're correct on this.
Oh, guys, it's getting a little heated here. Let's just take it down a notch, please.
But that Ann Coulter likes to tip a few back.
Oh, really?
I like that gal.
Did you guys go out
That was
afterwards?
fun.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
like 12 of us that went out. It was
Yeah.
her and she had a friend with her, Juliet and her boyfriend, and it was just Bill,
Yeah.
a bunch of people.
Yeah, just but the television industry though, it's just people that like to
They
really
they like to party.
television people are known for liking to just go out and tip a few.
Oh, this is a picture of Ann and Anthony. That's a
Oh
nice shot.
yes, that's wonderful. Look at us.
Where was that? Like, what bar? Close
Yes.
to here, right?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Is it outdoors?
No,
No.
the whole front is open though.
Oh, I see.
We were like inside, but we were right next to where it opens up.
Did you
That's
and
cool
Ann
to
Coulter
sit
get
down.
along? Over a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
beverages?
Yeah, you know, we were yapping about some things, but yeah, you know, we share the same political ideology for the most part.
Oh, you think?
A lot of people saw that picture and said it's nice to see Adolf and Ava together again.
What's her drink of choice?
I don't know, some kind of orange juice stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it was vodka and OJ, maybe. Maybe some
A
screwdrivers.
few screwdrivers.
Screwdrivers.
Damn.
I was just having a couple of Guinness.
Does she get recognized everywhere?
Everywhere she goes.
Ann
I
Coulter?
don't know if she did last time. I'm sure she did.
Well, she had her back to the street there, so
Right.
a lot of people walking by. But actually, a couple of fans of the show, as they were passing by, were like, Anthony.
Oh, really?
Oh, leave me alone. Shut up. Jackass.
Norton talks to the guests about a cleric in Iran banning dogs as pets and saying women should be better covered.
Anthony, was the cleric correct about our obsession with dogs? Do we sometimes treat them better than we treat our families?
Yeah, but I've seen some websites here in the United States that
have friendships with dogs that should be banned.
Scene, you hosted.
Yes, I did. It's good for the dogs. You ever see that Iranian dog whisperer? He uses a machete and electric testicle clips. Good for the dogs. It's in their best interest.
You think it's better for them not to be kept?
Of course.
The Iranian dog whisperers don't whisper into their ears.
Oh,
Yeah, it ain't good. It ain't good.
Juliet,
Yes.
Follow that, Julian.
let's cut the malarkey here and get down to business. Should we respect their religious customs of covering women's head from head to toe? Women's head from head to toe? From head to chin.
toes to head.
They're naked except their chins to heads. God, don't you wish all women were like that? I
Here's
don't.
the thing, though. It was talking about like letting their hair hang out, and interestingly, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, he was the one who actually came in and said, "Hold on." He wants to ease up on some of these restrictions, which I found interesting since he is hell on earth. But it's kind of like he's Iron Man in a way. He's flawed, yet he comes in and sort of saves the day. It's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I think it's something different. I think it's because any cleric who would notice the fashionableness of a woman's veil is totally gay. Yeah, totally. Right. So,
very good
yeah, I think Mahmoud is just worried about the clerics going gay. I call him Maki. Maki.
And Ahmadinejad is a good guy to talk to about fashion. He's a sociopath in a members-only jacket. That's what you want to have the button.
A good time had by all.
Yeah, it was. The energy was very good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun.
And you're doing a good job hosting, Jimmy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, the question, you have the question on the monitor in front of you, so you kind of know, and you have them on paper, so you kind of know where you want to go.
Right.
But everybody was funny and talkative and giving good answers. It's awkward if someone's not giving anything.
Yeah.
But with like Ant and Ann Coulter and Julia, it's like you know all of them are comfortable talking.
Sure.
And Jimmy kept the energy up and everything. It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Like
Even with Meatloaf, which, it's kind of hard to
How was the
interview
Meatloaf interview?
He was good. I mean, he's a little
Yeah.
nuts, but yeah, I think he had fun.
Yeah, he is crazy.
I think he did enjoy it though.
In the dressing room, it's like he's standing around, then he goes, should I wear this? And puts his jacket on with the silver studded skulls.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's the one you want.
Definitely you got to wear that one.
That's the one you want to wear.
What was he promoting?
His album, probably the same one that we had. It's probably
The same
still
one
out.
that's not selling?
Aw,
I don't know. You think not?
poor meat.
Maybe not.
We all love the meat, but
Jesus, who doesn't love the meat?
we love the meat.
Yeah, maybe it's not.
As long as it's not in the shape of a cock.
Oh, what?
What's the name of the
Most
CD's?
delicious shape.
Hang Cool Teddy Bear.
Yeah, didn't he say?
Yeah, that was it.
He said something like it was his best album ever. He had some.
Well, of course.
He was promoting it pretty heavily on our show. I don't know how it's doing.
Then Jimmy asked him what Hang Cool Teddy Bear means, and I didn't understand his answer.
I didn't either. I didn't listen as well as I probably should have because you're so.
Yeah, like fixated on what you're going to say next.
What's next and where do we go? And I'm listening for Todd in my ear, telling me things like, all right, 30. Because you have to know when to jump out.
Oh, sure.
That was the weird part, was coming in out of breaks.
All right.
Yeah.
And finally, Jim's monologue. This is the Greg.
yes.
What does Greg Gutfeld call it?
The Gregalogue.
The Gregalogue.
Don't play the whole thing. I can't listen to it.
That means we got to play the whole thing.
No, I can't.
Oh,
That means we got to play the whole thing.
They did a little
Jimmy's
graphic.
uncomfortable.
Did it say Norton and Friends on the thing? I wanted them to say Norton and Friends on the graphics. It's supposed to say
I
Norton
don't
and
know.
Friends.
I don't know.
All right, you lucky devils. It's time for my monologue. I didn't want to name it something ham-handed or cheesy like Jimalogue, so I settled on Reportin' Norton.
Horrible. It's important.
By the way, as I said that, my head should have blown off in scatters.
And been replaced by a more awesome head. You are awesome.
Anybody's, John Merrick. According to IHS Global Insight, thank you, Bill, in 2011, China's going to pass the United States as the world's largest manufacturer. Now, should this be surprising considering that China has over 1 billion people and the average wage for labor is somewhere between $100 and $150 a month? Now, instead of Americans feeling bad about ourselves, we ought to be saying, hey, it's about time. What took you idiots so long? $150 a month? In America, you can't get a happy ending massage for that much. At least not in a good place. I mean, a good place, the massage itself is $150, and anything after that is discussed privately between you and the lady. If indeed she is a lady who hasn't made that mistake. The point is, why don't we as Americans take any instance of not being the greatest on the planet We take that and we make it an epic failure, which is the main reason the United States has never embraced soccer, because we can't be the best at it in the world. That, and because soccer really sucks and is boring to watch. But why do we set such impossible standards for ourselves to live up to? Can't we just be happy knowing we've created almost everything fun that exists on the planet already? The telephone, television, personal computers, bifocals, the internet, and even Barbie dolls. And these are just the things I use to act out sexually. Let's not forget air conditioning, light bulbs, the automobile, and Tupperware, which are also things I've used to act out sexually. We've gotten to a point in America where we seem to think being second best makes us a turd in the punch bowl of the world. We're like a nation of teenagers walking up the stairs while the great Santini bounces a basketball off the back of our heads. So instead of feeling bad about ourselves when China passes us in manufacturing, why don't we just congratulate them? Because without America, there'd be nothing worth manufacturing in the first place. And if you disagree with me, then you're probably a racist homophobe who's never seen the great Santini.
Amazing.
That was Report Norton. You're welcome. What's that? No one's talking to me. Sometimes I just go, divine inspiration. I don't run this thing. Christ does. And he said, talk to your guests. And how do you feel about China possibly passing us?
It was weird because I didn't realize there was nothing on the thing after, so I had to just go to them for 2 minutes of discussion about China.
Yeah, there was no real questions. It was just kind of, hey, what does anybody else think?
Right, right.
And then it was just quiet, and Ty goes, you got 2 minutes. I was like, oh.
You got 2 minutes. Go.
2 more minutes. Go.
Hey, it was fun.
Very good, man. Good job, Jimmy.
Thank you, man.
Good job,
I was happy with that.